Hey guys, it's your boy Roy, doing a little short video on the Master Collection. I did a short video a while back, explaining like what are my thoughts about it when it was announced, and a lot of details we weren't sure about back then. So now that it's released, I managed to play it for about 20, 30 hours. Um, I thought I'd give my quick thoughts on the collection as a whole. Let me start off by just saying the positive, and I think that's the biggest positive I can give it, and it's a big one. Is it is a good deal. If you're like a new player who hasn't played Ninja Gaiden yet, I think this is it. Like if you want to get started with the series, look no further. Well, you can make discussions, and I personally also agree with those that these are not the definitive versions of Ninja Gaiden, or the best versions, or the ones that I personally enjoy the most. For $40, you are getting a slew of content, and nerfed Ninja Gaiden is still Ninja Gaiden. To give you a bit of an insight, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 was my first Ninja Gaiden game. It's what started me being a fan of the series. And it was such a good action game that I went out to buy an Xbox. And like when I grew up, I was always Nintendo and later a bit Sony, but I never liked Microsoft. So the fact that Sigma 2 was so good, it made me buy an Xbox. Like, it's still a great action game. Do I prefer Ninja Gaiden 2 in black? Obviously, that's common knowledge. But for a newcomer, these are great versions. There's a lot of bang for your buck. If I had gotten this collection when I was 18 years old, it would have been like 400 hours down the drain. That's like it's like a no-brainer in terms of investment. So I think in that case, it's very handy. I always also like that they are free separate games instead of like one bundle and you have to go through a menu first, decide which one you want to play. Instead, it's just free games that you install. You can install them separately. You can do whatever you want. Great, like it, love it. So yeah, I think that's the best positive thing that I can say about it. The other thing that I also enjoy about it is that they managed to include almost all of the content for the from the Vita versions. For those who don't know, Ninja Gaiden 1 and Ninja Gaiden 2 both got Vita releases on the PS Vita. These releases actually had bonus content. While it wasn't that major, there were not bonus weapons or bonus characters compared to other releases. There are small modes and a costume here and there. And everything about it is optional. For instance, Sigma 1 has these enhancements that you can now equip that kind of break the game. And the costumes now also have power-ups that you can use, which breaks the game even further. But you can just switch them off. You can just ignore them, that they exist. But it's nice that every added function that's there is there. And it allowed me to finally play Ninja Race at a decent frame rate, because I used to borrow a Vita from a friend of mine, and he had Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, via other means probably. And I would play Ninja Race, and it was like 10 FPS, if at all. It was barely unplayable, and now to be able to play it on Turbo, yeah, it's really good. I really like it. I've mostly been putting my time into the quick, easy access options of the games. So like the tag missions, the Ninja Race, the Ninja Trials, stuff like that. Because the campaigns, I've played them too many times. And if I want to play a good campaign, I'll play Ninja Gaiden 2. And if I want to play Ninja Gaiden Sigma, I'd rather just play black. In other news, though, like we can make a large discussion about, it's the Sigma releases and whatnot. There are problems with the release. And some of them are minor, some of them are what went wrong. There's glaring omissions, which really makes me not consider this the Master Collection. So if you have the money and you have a PlayStation free, I would almost recommend buy Sigma 1, buy Sigma 2 on that machine instead of this collection. And if you have an Xbox, buy Ninja Gaiden Black and buy Ninja Gaiden 2. And Razor's Edge, your opinion may vary. Personally, I have the backwards compatible version and the Master Collection version. I've played them back to back to compare them, And I'm not. I know players. There are people out there that see a difference, and from what I've heard, if you have a 4K TV, it does make a difference. I don't have a 4K TV. I actually downgraded recently. I bought a CRT for my gaming setup, but my Xbox One isn't hooked up to that one yet. So I'm more about a downgrade than an upgrade. But I'm not noticing any difference at all. If anything, the Master Collection looks a bit darker-ish. And otherwise, it's completely the same game, except you have one extra costume that you wouldn't have because that was unavailable on the Xbox One X. And you are lacking all the online features and the customizable ninja. And the customizable ninja, for those that don't know, in Ninja Gaiden 3, you could play as an unnamed ninja who you could design. So you could give him headgear and different outfits, different armbands. And you can unlock those by doing other challenges and stuff. It was pretty cool to sort of make your own ninja. You could also give him a voice from a collection of samples. It was pretty neat, and it was also cool to unlock new pieces of gear for him because they didn't change his stats; it was just his looks, and that's completely gone in the Master Collection version because they just stripped out all the online functionality and they couldn't be bothered to keep that part in, fuckers. Some other omissions. Sadly, Sigma 2 seems to have a lot of issues with moves. Right now, it's not fully documented yet, and a lot of players are saying, it's the exact same game. The Dragon Sword and the Tonfa especially, some of the moves, their hitboxes aren't working. And some attacks launch too, like you have a launcher, and it launches too high now, so the follow-up moves all can't connect anymore. There's a tracking issue with some other attacks, like the 360 inputs, where you spin the stick around. For some reason, these attacks don't track anymore, and the ultimate technique versions of those don't work at all. Like, enemies will just phase right through them. These are pretty big, in my opinion. For a casual player, like if you just play these games once, you're not going to notice. Maybe one or two times you'll be like, I hit him, stupid game. But it's still an annoying thing that in a dubbed Master Collection, even something as simple as an Izuna drop combo doesn't work. There's also reports of some bosses being able to attack through your block, even though those attacks originally couldn't do this. And that might explain, because I've been playing the trials a bit in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and there was one boss that I always could no damage. It was easy. It's Elizabeth. I know her pattern inside out because I had to do those trials all the way back. And for some reason, I was taking damage, and I was at first I thought it was rusty, and then I started looking like, wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to be able to block this move? And I still had some old footage. And I asked around, and some other guys were saying, like, I think that move, something's wrong. So it's a bit annoying that they sort of dropped the ball in that regard. One thing they did do well, and I think that's at least shows a bit insight, is they unlocked one higher difficulty in each game from the get-go. While this is a downside for new players, because they might think like, I'm going to start Ninja Gaiden Sigma on hard, and then they get absolutely crushed, because the difficulty levels in Ninja Gaiden work in a way that every higher setting is built to make you be challenged again after beating the previous one. So hard assumes you've beaten normal. It isn't made for players who haven't beaten normal. The upside is that players like me, or a lot of other people that bought this game, don't have to replay normal again. We don't have to play Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Warrior, which is, even on Mentor, it's already putting me to sleep sometimes, because there's just empty rooms. Coming from Sigma 2 to 2, and now going back to Sigma 2, where it all began for me, is a bit bittersweet. I described it online as a constantly building anxiety attack, because there's like giant rooms where I know in my muscle memory, like I'll turn the corner and 20 enemies will just spawn and try to shoot me down. And the Sigma 2 is like, okay, turn around the corner. Oh, hello? Oh, there's no one here. Oh, there's a dog. So that's a bit weird. But in terms of the collection, I do think the Sigma 1 release, there is one bug right now regarding one ultimate technique that might not be working properly from the Dragon Sword. And some people have noted that maybe there's something funky going on with the frames of the dual katanas, where the ultimate technique has a lot larger recovery than it's supposed to have. So either they fucked up something with the iframes, or there's something going on in the back end that's screwing it up. But otherwise, I think Sigma 1 might be the definitive version of the Sigma versions, at least, of Sigma 1, Sigma 1 Plus. Barring the fact that, of course, it's part of the Master Collection, so you have to buy number 2 and 3 as well, which I think are... of Sigma 2, I would really say just buy Sigma 2 on the PS3. This is a shitty version. Shitty, rushed, barely working version that has some Vita content. You're better off just playing the PS3 version. And Razor's Edge, like I said, they both feel the same to me. So it kind of sucks that Sigma's best version is stuck in this Master Collection. I kind of hope they maybe make it available to download them separately in the future. That would be cool. So yeah, that's kind of my quick take on it. I think it's unfinished. I think it's not deserving of the term Master Collection. It's very clear that Team Ninja put absolutely no effort into this release at all. You could also see that in the marketing, that half the information was incorrect or lacking. They would even say that Rachel was a playable character in Razor's Edge. She's not. She never was. So for a brief moment, we think, hey, maybe they add... No, it was just a mistake. I will still say that for beginners, people that have been looking to get into Ninja Gaiden, that don't have an Xbox or don't have a PS3 anymore, get this. It's still a fantastic version. Just be wary that your mileage may vary, and some attacks in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 you need to keep in mind, like, oh, maybe there's something broken on the back end. And hopefully they'll patch it, but as I said, it's Team Ninja, and they didn't really put any effort into it. I mean, you got to go into the launcher on PC to change your resolution. I mean, if anything says free payday, it's that, you know. And one thing I think would be interesting is how would we fix it, or could Team Ninja fix it? And I think my personal preference would have been to just really make a Master Collection. And that is something, I remember there's a video of James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. He made a video about Star Wars. And Star Wars, there's so many fucking versions. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just make a DVD that has all the versions, like ask $100, you got this little menu you can go for, like, I want to make my own Star Wars movie. I want one where Hans shoots first, but there's what are the other changes they made? Oh, there's a holographic. There's that scene with not Jar Jar, the big slime guy. Doesn't matter. You could make your own movie from all the different versions, sort of make your own perfect Star Wars experience. And I think at the end of the day, that would have been what I would have wanted. And now there's always the constant story like, oh no, but they lost the source data of Ninja Gaiden 2 and was Ninja Gaiden Black, so they can't do... Bullshit. 100% bullshit. People translated that article correctly instead of all the other news outlets. And it was revealed that they didn't lose the code. It's just very difficult to compile because it was made by previous people that don't work there anymore, and it's sort of scattered on computers. They didn't lose it, it's just too much work. Now, it's probably somewhere, and you usually have that in these types of business deals, that someone crunched the numbers and they probably said, Ninja Guy's not going to sell, so better make it as easy as money as possible. But in an ideal world, I would have preferred that they really put in the work. Put in Ninja Gaiden Black, put in Ninja Gaiden 2, but also put in the original. Put in the Hurricane packs. Put in Sigma, the Vita editions, Sigma Plus, the whole 9 yards. Then you can call it a Master Collection. This is Ninja Dog, and it's sad. Now, you can ask the question, what's next for Team Ninja? Well, yesterday they unveiled that they are working on the Final Fantasy spin-off title, Origins. And I saw some people also freaking out, like, oh no, they sold out. I think it's Team Ninja has already worked on Square Enix titles in the past with this that fighting game that's really popular in Japan in the arcades. At least when I was there, it was. So maybe it still is. I don't know. And I think they also did a couple of uncredited jobs for Square Enix in the past where they consulted on combat systems and stuff. Because they're still, I know that Platinum is sort of like the action company right now, but Team Ninja is old school. Like they're also one of the originals and one of the big ones. So they still do that kind of stuff, and they just need to do that to keep the lights on and maybe invest in future products. I do hope that that the Ninja Dog collection sold well. Going by what I see on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube, like how popular it is, I don't think it did do very well. I can already see the discourse dying out. But it depends on how they budgeted it. But I don't think it gives them any sort of indication that Ninja Gaiden 4 will be possible or a success. And I think that comes to my last point. Should this lead to an NG4? Personally, I would say no. And I really believe there should be no Ninja Gaiden 4 under any circumstances. With a disclaimer, if they make it, I'll buy it. Like, obvious. I love this series. It's one of my favorite games. I got great memories of it. I really like the gameplay. I still play it basically every day. If only for like 10 minutes, it's just fun to toy around with the combat system. And the reason I don't feel Ninja Gaiden 4 should be made is because the people that made Ninja Gaiden don't work there anymore. And speaking as someone who works in the creative industry himself, not in video games, but creative, it really sucks if you have to work on a project that isn't yours, that you weren't a part of the creative process at the first time. You could already see that with Ninja Gaiden 3, that they really wanted to give it their own twist, because those guys aren't there anymore. We're gonna sort of twist it into something we want to do, and that just crashed and burned. And now with Neo, you see that Team Ninja is really fun. Like, okay, this is what we want to do. This is our creation. And you also see that with Devil May Cry, with Itsuno. He basically twisted and turned Kamiya's game into something that was uniquely his, and it's why he's constantly pushing characters like Nero, Virgil, and V down our throats, because Dante still Kamiya's character. You can change him as much as you want. You can give him his different personalities had over these years compared to his original form. You can give him a new voice. He's still not your character. And with Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm really afraid that at the end of the day, it's just going to be them pretending to be a studio they're not, pretending to be a team that they're not. So I'd rather them work on something that's theirs, that they're proud of, that they stand behind. And I also want to say that with this Master Collection, Ninja Dog Collection, it really shows that they don't really care for it. If you were a studio that really cared for this character, really cared for these games, you would not do this. You would not make a shoddy Sigma 2 port where moves don't fucking work. You won't make such bad marketing. You won't have such a terrible PC version. You won't have a Switch version that barely runs at all. You would put in some actual effort and some actual passion instead of going for this quick payday, because that hurts. And I don't trust a studio like that with an IP that I love so much. As said, I would still buy it because I'm I'm part of the problem right here. I even bought the collection, even though I knew I wasn't going to fully enjoy it. And I'm well aware of that fact. You can point out the irony in the comment, but that's my take on it. I think some IPs should remain to rest, basically. If the original creators are gone, focus on new stuff, make new IPs. It's also why I'm still very much not hopeful, but hoping that From Software will one day just say like, hey, we're done with Souls, we're going to do something else, because Elden Ring looks great, but it also looks like something I've already played a dozen times, which sometimes make me feel like, oh, I'd love to see them spread their wings. And Team Ninja at least is doing that with Neo, and I think they also said they are done with Neo, so they want to do something new again. Great, I'm all for it, and that's also why I like Tango so much as a studio. Like Mikami really likes to do different things. You can see that with Ghost Runner. It's completely different. Like, I mean, look at that guy's resume. It's Resident Evil, Vanquish. You already see what? I think he was involved with. No, he wasn't involved with Beautiful Joe. He got God Hand. Put that one in there. The Evil Within, okay. And now it's some sort of first-person spellcasting game in Tokyo. Apparently, I'm gonna get arrested for saying I don't want Ninja Gaiden 4 because I hear a police car coming. It stopped in my street. Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, I that's a personal preference. I like guys that developers or producers, whatever you want to call them, designers that have a diverse portfolio instead of sticking to the one thing they know they can do and do that. Though there's value in both. I'm just rambling right now. Master Collection, should you buy it? That's completely up to you. I would again say if you're starting, get it. You know, it's well worth the investment. And later on, keep an open mind and think about maybe you want to buy an Xbox to experience the other versions. I do hope that one day we'll get sort of versions that stay alive, that the games will at least stay available on modern systems. Thankfully, Ninja Gaiden Black and 2 are part of the backwards compatible program on Xbox, so we'll at least be able to play them in all future Xboxes until Microsoft one day ditches that program. So that's at least good to know that those two games are preserved in that sense. I don't know if the Master Collection will get that service or even deserves it. I don't know. Will I be playing these versions for the upcoming time? I don't think so. I'll probably do my due diligence and beat them both on Master Ninja. I've already unlocked Master Ninja in Sigma 1 by beating Doku twice, and I'm currently halfway through Mentor in Sigma 2 because I've mostly been playing Ninja Run and the tag missions, which are fun, but it's not enough to make me move away from Ninja Gaiden 2. And later on, because I'm going to buy an original Xbox, I'm going to be playing Ninja Gaiden Black on that. So yeah, I bought it digitally for ease of access. I might buy the disc version down the line just to have it in my closet because I'm a fan. But I'm probably not going to play it after this week anymore. After this week, I'm probably going to go back to Game Pass and Ninja Gaiden 2. So that's my short take on. It's actually not short. It's 21 fucking minutes. I do like to ramble. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like talking like this. I don't have anybody in my like personal area that knows Ninja Gaiden that I can talk to about. Like they'll just say like, oh, isn't that Ninja game? Yeah. What you've been playing? Yeah, some modern stuff that I don't care about. So I kind of like doing these things. I don't do it a lot because I don't always know what to talk about. But all right. Is there anything else that I forgot to mention? I don't think so. Online? No. Missing content? No, I already covered all that. Yeah. All right. Let me know if you bought the collection, what your thoughts were. I guess. Isn't that what YouTubers usually say? Let me know in the comments and then they never reply. Yeah, I'm going to do that.